Hello. It is July 15th. I got Cirilla in the car. Say hi, Cirilla.
Hi.
We're talking to YouTube, right, Cirilla?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're getting ready to drop off Cirilla's papers for school. And this week I was able to get a progressive session in on Sunday. But then life kind of got in the way on Monday and Tuesday. And I was only able to knock out extended periods of cardio. So that said, I got over 200 minutes of cardio done for the week, and then I added another 54 minutes on today before I left to go do this chore I'm getting ready to do. And then of course I'm going to go return my Amazon stuff that needs to be returned for the month. Go to Home Depot. I bought a door for a bedroom. I'm getting ready to redo everything between capital improvements and this and that, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta renew the registration on my cars. You know, life gets in front of you, you know what I mean? And then you gotta handle what's in front of you, and then you're like, wait a minute, part of what I gotta handle is the gym. And just because I'm a paramedic, just because I'm a father of 2 little kids and 1 medium step kid, doesn't mean that I can't get it in through the week, right? So today's progressive session is going to be legs, bicep, tricep. Now, I did 54 minutes of cardio before I left on my home bike. When I get back to warm up everything for my legs, especially, and I like to do home bike, that's my preferred method of zone 2 cardio, I'm going to make sure that I get warmed up for 15 to 20 minutes on the bike, and then I'm going to do some really intense but not long progressive overload session. So I'm going to do a leg press and a squat, but I'm going to try to do at least 8 working sets of that leg press or squat, and then I'm going to do the flush exercise. And I'm going to pick a moderately heavy weight to really work down to near failure. And for the biceps and triceps, I'm going to use kettlebells, and I have a short barbell and I have a long barbell. The short barbell is great for basically everything, because you have a home gym, so it's not it's a home gym built around dining room and living room area, so space is as prime real estate, so to speak. So the short bar is great for doing curls, incline chest press, overhead behind the head tricep. So I can use that short bar that I use for the incline chest for probably both tricep and bicep exercises, and I'd like to experiment with that and see how that feels, because everything has a different feeling. I go back to the incline press, for example. So say you're working with, now I'm talking about working with through sets. You're working with 185 on a 7-foot standard barbell that weighs 45 pounds. This one weighs 25 pounds and it's 5 foot. So it's like shooting a gun. That's there's I don't really know too much about guns. But I do know, what is it? The Glock 23 is a 9mm that's shorter, right? And then the Glock 17 is the full-size handgun. You shoot with the Glock 17, there's little to no kick. I mean, there's kick there's kick, but when you shoot the 23, the compact version of the 9mm of the Glock, it has the same power, but it doesn't. It has stronger power because you're using a smaller barrel to get the same effect. It's the same concept with weights. That's why kettlebells feel differently than dumbbells, and that's why dumbbells feel differently than a barbell. So if you're doing an incline press, and with the barbell that's 7 foot long, you put 185 on it, you could do 4 sets of 10. I'm just pulling numbers from my rear. I don't know what my numbers really are today. But say 4 sets of 10. And on that 5th set, you drop it down, and that's your quote-unquote flush set. You drop it down to 155, and you do 12. So the dumbbells, you would do, okay, I'm going to do 70 on each side. Well, 70 on each side is 140 pounds total, right? It's not 185 pounds. And it's harder to control. It's harder to push. With this new incline, this new short bar I have for incline press, it's kind of like the same concept. It's difficult to work around. When I work with 2 35-pound kettlebells, oh my gosh, it's really hard after rep number 20. That's where I start struggling. But in theory, it's only 70 pounds. What's your problem? Well, the problem is the weight's distributed differently, and it hits the muscles differently. So it's good to switch it up with the equipment, and you can't be like all ego-driven, like, oh, I'm only benching 115 pounds with the short bar, where I'm used to benching 225, 245, whatever. Take your ego and throw it out the window. Do medium weights, high reps. Like, I'm going to keep playing with that 115, and I'm going to gradually build it up to 135, and then I'm going to go to 155, and then 165. So it's a process, and I'm not, when I say gradually, I mean like gradually, because I'd rather be the master of reps than the master of injury, right? You can do 15 repetitions with lower weight and get the same kind of power and muscle growth and strength than you can doing it with a higher weight. So I'd rather take that 115 pounds. Right now I'm working with sets of 13. I want to get on the upper end of the spectrum of 15 to 20 reps for a good 4 sets before I start thinking, okay, now I'm going to do, where do we go from 115? So it'd be like 45 plus 45 plus 25. So I would go back down to, we'll do 5 pounds on each side, so 10 pounds. So it's like, okay, now it's 125, 135, 145, 165. That 165, I promise you, will feel like 315. Well, maybe not 315, but like definitely in the upper 2s because of the way that bar is positioned. In any case, yeah, this is progressive overload. This is progressive adaptive sessions that I'm talking about. This is like working around being a paramedic full time with 3 kids and a wife that are dependent upon me. I'm trying to balance all sorts of energy on top of this and work towards a massive physique. If you want help, I don't mind helping you. Cirilla, do you mind helping people too? You want to help people? Cirilla will help you too. And you can get started by messaging me at coderedtrainingofficial@gmail.com. My name's Chris, and I'm a paramedic, a father, a Christian, and a coach. And I'd love to work with you. Thank you.